The Joe Rogan Experience.
It's just crazy to me that you got so deeply entrenched reading the story that you started getting into Santeria.
I was actually I was married to a Brazilian for 10 years.
Ah, so they have a
They have
version
their
of
own
Santeria as
version
well?
of Santeria. It's called Macumba.
And what's different about their version?
It's almost exactly the same. They have all the same saints. It's the same thing.
It's the same thing because the slave trade came through Brazil.
Yes, Africa,
Right.
Catholicism, mixing. They just the music is different. With the Cubans, it's a rumba. All this wonderful rumba music that you hear. There's a whole bunch of great music that grows up around it.
So you were married to a Brazilian woman.
Yeah.
You get divorced. You keep the religion. Is that what happened?
Yeah, I can't go to places like Cuba and Brazil because I get so influenced and overwhelmed by it. It changes the direction of my life.
Really?
I went to Brazil. The first full day I was in Brazil, I fell in love with the woman that I married and lived with for the next 10 years.
Wow.
When I go to Cuba, it's dangerous to me because I'm so seduced by it. I'm so intoxicated by Havana, by Cuban culture.
What is it?
Well, first of all, it's the most sensual place Havana is the most sensual place I've ever been. Everyone flirts. The women flirt. Doesn't matter if they're married or not married. They flirt with you. I suppose guys flirt too. Everyone flirts. There's like sexual energy everywhere. The sky and the climate is just kind of sultry and sensual. The music makes your body move.
Joe, would you let me play a video for you to show you some of the dancing in Cuba?
Sure.
When women dance in Cuba, they cover their pussy. Because what I'm trying to do, the whole dance is me baiting you. It's one of the prettiest things you've ever seen in your life. It's me coming up to you with this movement. Like when I played it, like Yoel, I was getting nowhere with Yoel. I was getting
On the
nowhere.
podcast.
Way before the podcast. He was tightening up. So I had to play Los Papines de Matanzas. And once he heard that, I could see Nigeria coming alive. He even got up and kicked his leg one time, which meant we're on. Because it's so embedded in your culture. But in Cuban dancing, I'm coming up to you, and every time I come up, and I'll go like this and go like this, and you got to come and put your ass, but the whole time you'll be covering your pussy, because on the exchange, I go to grab your pussy. Harvey Weinstein would do phenomenal in Cuba.
Here's how serious I take it, by the way.
What is this?
Oh, I love Afro-Cuban music, Latin jazz. So I'm curating and hosting a Latin jazz series in New York at a bar called Zinc every Thursday night.
TJ English and his Latin jazz explosion.
So I get to choose the music, the musicians that perform there, and I host the evening.
Wow. You do this every week?
Yeah.
Wow.
We're going to try to just keep it going indefinitely.
That's phenomenal. So this to you was a natural subject to sort of engross yourself in.
Well, I had published the book Havana Nocturne, which was about the mob in Cuba in the 50s, and I really got into it then. Made numerous trips to Havana for extended periods. So this book was almost like a sequel to that. Yeah, it was a nice way to revisit that culture, pick up the thread of that story. Because this one is sort of an answer. You get to the end of the Havana Nocturne and you ask yourself, so then what happened? What happened after the mafia got chased out of Cuba? What was their response?
This,
How did they take it?
I want to show you this
So
woman.
is Cuban
Watch this
dancing?
woman.
Yeah.
Okay. What does it say? What's the name of this?
Guaguancó. Watch
Guaguancó
this woman. Watch it. See how she's holding her
yeah.
pussy? Everything is, look at this.
Yeah, she keeps holding her pussy.
So it's
Watch Homie. Homie's about 90. Watch him move.
So the
You were
dance.
talking about jeans, about, what was it with Yoel? See, he went to grab a pussy.
So
She
the
protects
dance
her
is
pussy.
a seduction, right?
It's a seduction.
Yeah, they're engaged in a mutual seduction.
This is a crazy dance. Jamie, what's the name of this? Show it to me. Say that.
Guaguancó is the rhythm, right?
Guaguancó is the rhythm.
G-U-A.
Los muñequitos de matanza.
Guaguancó.
La
Las-
W-E-N
Muñequitos.
Muñequitos Muñequitos Matanzas.
Matanzas is the province they're from.
Wow.
Watch how she grabs her pussy every time he comes close.
Now that mute.
See, he tried to grab it. He just see him trying to grab it.
and she blocked it.
Oh yeah, they don't fuck around.
That's hilarious.
So the drumming you're hearing and the use of what's called the shekore, that gourd there, and the chanting that's going on, that's you would hear all that in a Santeria ceremony.
Wow. This grabbing the pussy shit is hilarious.
Hilarious.
Yeah,
He
he
keeps
grabs
trying
his,
to
he
grab
grabs
it.
his junk too occasionally.
Right. He always-
Occasionally, but he's probably just checking. How we doing down there?
Well,
See, like he's grabbing it, he's like squeezing it to see if it's hard.
See, he just played with it. He just threatened to grab and she grabbed it.
That's hilarious.
Hilarious.
so it's very playful. It's
Yeah.
flirtatious.
Right.
That's,
And this is the culture there.
that's Cuba.